Okay, hello everybody. My name is Valentin Koser. My colleague's name is Harald Schnurbusch. We both are from the RWTH Aachen, and we would like to introduce you today the Cardbox plugin. The Cardbox plugin is a tool that allows teachers and students to create flashcards together, and after being created, these flashcards can be practiced by the students. First of all, we would like to give you some background information why we decided to develop this tool. Then we will give an overview of the different Cardbox features and a demonstration of how the Cardbox works in Moodle. And last but not least, we will give you a very short insight into a usage example to outline how the Cardbox can be embedded in a typical learning scenario. Because the Cardbox can be used in different learning settings. One setting, probably the most common setting, is vocabulary. But apart from that, the Cardbox offers a wide range of use. The plugin is an in-house development of Aachen University, and now that it has recently been added to the Moodle plugin directory, so the entire Moodle community can use it now. Before we will go more into detail, maybe a few words about our motivation to develop this plugin, because maybe some of you may know that there are two H5P content types in Moodle that can be used to practice vocabulary. So maybe there will come up the question, why a third tool, and what can this third tool that the existing content types cannot? And to explain what makes a difference between the existing content types and the Cardbox, I just want you to have a quick look at the existing types so that we compare them with the Cardbox. So both with dialogue cards and flashcards, you can create a set of cards. With dialogue cards, the student has just to turn the card to see the answer, and then he has to decide by himself whether he got it right or wrong. And with flashcards, however, the student has to type in his answer, and then he will be informed automatically whether his answer is correct or not. So basically both content types are pretty similar, with some differences regarding the input to be given, for example. And one feature that is neither implemented in dialogue cards, not in flashcards, is the possibility to save the current learning status and to continue at a later time. So this can be very important in a combination with a spaced repetition mode. And this feature, however, is implemented in our Cardbox with some other features that are missing in both content types. So one key feature of the Cardbox is that it is a collaborative tool. That means that students and teachers can work together to create a set of cards. You have also the option to import cards, which can be very helpful if you have lots of cards that you want to import at once. In case of several alternative answers, you can specify how many answers the student has to give. Just one answer, or if more than one answer has been added to a flashcard, maybe the student has to give all alternative answers. Another feature that is helpful is that also with many flashcards, that you can create topics and categorize flashcards by assigning each flashcard to a certain topic. And there are also some learning statistics offered so that the students can monitor their own learning progress. Another key feature is the so-called spaced repetition mode. So the main idea of spaced repetition is that it is important to repeat the learning content several times at increasingly intervals. So in our Cardbox, that means that the first revision starts after 1 day, the second revision after 3 days, the third revision after 7 days, and so on. So this is how to make sure that the learning content remains permanently in the memory and is not forgotten after some time. So this is the basic idea of spaced repetition, and based on these findings, the so-called Leitner system was developed in the 1970s, And the Leitner system consists of 7 boxes, and so does our card box. And if you answer a card correctly, so the card is advanced to the next box. And if you answer a card wrong, the card will go back to the first box. So even if you answer a card correctly 4 times in a row, and the 5th time you don't, so the card box, so the flashcard will go back to the first box, and you have to start from the beginning. So even if there is no fallback to the first box, so it takes 34 days for a flashcard to completely leave the card box. Here you can see an overview of the range of usage of the card box. As mentioned earlier, there's a wide range of uses beyond vocabulary. So you can use it to practice dates, like specific dates, birth dates, for example, formulas, definitions, and also quite classical question types like true-false questions or free text questions are possible. But this list is only to give you an impression what use cases are possible, and it can of course be extended by your own idea. Okay, so much for theory, and now let's give you an impression of how the card box works in Moodle. And for time reasons, we prepared a video for this. I hope it will run without any problems. Okay, so first of all, a new card box activity has to be added. Then you make some settings here. So here, for example, here you can decide when you want to allow written input, that the cards are automatically be corrected. You can set this checkbox. In case of several answers, you can specify how many answers have to be given. So just one answer or all answers that have been added, and case sensitivity. So this is maybe interesting for vocabulary, where it may not matter whether you write the answer in upper or lowercase. So if you set this to no, upper and lowercase will be ignored. And that's what we've done here. And so much for the basic settings. And from now on, cards can be added by students and teachers, and that's why we switch now to the student perspective. So here, first of all, a topic has to be assigned. Then we have to give here a question, and optionally an image file, an audio file, or a context line can be added. And then we continue with the corresponding answer, and here you have to decide how many answers have to be given. And all that we've done here by filling in the input fields, by choosing an image file, by giving a context line and 2 alternative answers, crossroads and intersection, and just one of these answers has to be given. And in the next step, the teacher has to review the cards submitted by the student. If needed, the teacher can do some editing here, and if not, he can skip all this and can accept and save. And from that moment on, the flashcard is listed in the Overview tab, together with all other cards that have been added before to the Overview tab, and here you can do also some filtering by topics. And then the flashcards are ready for practice by choosing a practice mode, in this case the automatic check. Here you can give no answer, like in this example, a wrong answer, like here, or an answer that hasn't been added yet as a correct answer, and in this case the student can suggest his own answer as a correct answer. Or the student can here just give a right answer, and when the learning session is over, the student sees here a summary of his results, and afterwards the teacher has to approve the submitted alternative solution in the Review tab again. So since the teacher has suggested the word junction, you can just approve it, and after being approved, the solution will be added to the other alternative solutions and will be accepted in future learning sessions. And in the progress steps, finally, you can see some statistic, for example, how many cards are in each box. Yeah, so far for the overview, hopefully enough to give you a short idea. And finally, a few more words on a usage example.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're running a bit out of time in the schedule, so maybe we skip the usage example just to make sure that we can get back into schedule. It's okay?
Yeah, we need to get the next presenter on because he, the time.
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
So it's unfortunate. Okay. Sorry. See, the timer was telling you the time is up over there. So while he brings his computer to connect, we'll allow one question. Okay. See, it takes a while for the computer connection. So please help with the HDMI change. Thank you.
Sorry.
Any question? I'll allow one question while they do the technical switching here. One question. Anybody who has a question for? Okay, thank you.
Is it on? Yeah. Okay. Really thank you for your presentation and for presenting this feature that I think is lacking already a long time in Moodle, something with that supports Lightner and stuff like that. What I was wondering, I noticed that the student has to type in the correct answer to that then will be automatically evaluated by the system, which is a bit hard on mobile. And I would think that students would use this on a mobile phone, on a train, waiting somewhere. Is there any plans to make like a mode of operation where the student can see the correct answer and just mark whether he had it right or wrong in his head? A bit the way like, I think Anki works a bit like that. Like the right answer is shown, and then you decide whether it was easy, difficult, right, wrong, stuff like that. Are there any ideas to implement some feature like that?
Is this on? Okay. Not really, to be honest. This is very fresh. This plugin. It's just the first state, but it's a good question, a good remark that we need to think a bit more about mobile users, because I mean, maybe not at our university, students usually also have a computer, a laptop at home, but the scenario that they're working on the way to the university, on the train or wherever, even especially if they are trying to prepare exams, we know that they're doing that, also listening to videos then on the train and faster mode and all this stuff. Yeah, but might be, we will take that with us. Thanks.